Hello and good day to all friends. This is Mojtaba Rasti from the Thales group, and today is January 7th, 2026, and I'm here with you. With a long-term perspective, let's review the status of Bitcoin and the incoming trades. In fact, from December 1st until now, for the upcoming June, September, and the significant end-of-year maturities, this has been the case. Of course, let's also take a quick look to see what the trades look like. They can guide us, so let's go to the market screener. As you can see, the database has been processed. From December 1st, we'll consider the incoming trades up to now for the beginning of the term, specifically for the month of June. I've set the trade size filter to above 50 trades, though we can, for example, we could set it to 25, for example. That way, it would include more trades, and the open interest is positive. Ultimately, we're faced with a situation like this. As you can see, it's a bullish setup. Let's turn on the delta, and if it gives us the gamma, yes, the overall trades are there. It shows a bullish situation for the month of June, a peak. Actually, our gamma is around 112,000, and you can see that the red curve starts from 119,000, 120,000, and interest profit. It goes into profit, and here we have a crossover at 138,000. Right at 138,000. There's a crossover. There is also a crossover here between gamma and the red curve at 150,000, and another crossover between delta and the red curve at 160,000. Now, as we move forward with this bullish scenario, you can see that this bullish situation is still showing itself to some extent. And of course, as we move further ahead, the point here is notice that the heavy trades are decreasing. That is, you can see we no longer have trades with 25 Bitcoin. From this date onward, you can see we have very few of those, and that's why just a few trades have made the chart look bearish. Let's allow more trades to be added, but especially the trades that have been added since the beginning of December. So actually, in recent times, we haven't had many large incoming trades, the trades that have come in since the beginning of December. You can see that they have a bullish outlook. Alright, let's move on to the 54 trades we have. To make it easier to analyze them, we'll just set it to 31 trades instead of 50. 31 trades, and let's see. Yeah, if we analyze them, you'll see there are some heavy trades. For example, we have a 500 Bitcoin trade. A long put at 80,000. This one came in December. Again here, a 500 Bitcoin long call at 230,000. This is really interesting and inspiring. It was entered in December as well. We didn't cover these in the previous long-term analysis, which is available as a video on the channel, because up until the end of November, that's actually where we had analyzed, and these are new entries that we haven't reviewed yet. A 500 Bitcoin long call targeting 230,000 for June 26th. Here we have a 50 Bitcoin position targeting 145,000. Here, even on December 1st, you can see a 50 Bitcoin position targeting 160,000. Pay attention to the strike prices. It shows that optimism has returned to the market. That's what I'm trying to say. 500 Bitcoin long for December 2nd. A 30,000 put? This view is completely bearish. For June, they're basically seeing the end of the bull market. Now, what comes from the trade? Sorry. We have to keep in mind that this is a strategy. These two blocks show the strategy. Let's click on this, and yes, there's a... Look, it's actually, can we call it a long strangle? It's pretty wide, but you can see the odds seem to favor the upside. Well, in any case, a strategy like this can't really help us much, because the trader zone outlook isn't really clear. They've actually considered the possibility of movement in both directions. But if we also want to take the volumes into account, you see, since the volume is the same, you can't really distinguish much. So both sides have been considered. There's a barrier here. Look, again, here, this is a strategy that this strategy has a kind of spread. Let me put it correctly. No, I should click this one too. This one is just like the others. It's a kind of long strangle, but with a curved entry towards its profit. All right, that's enough. Okay, let's turn this one off too and see what happens. What strategy is this one? Take a look. 270 Bitcoin. Yes, this is also a long strangle strategy, which is above 75,000 and below 65,000. So for now, you can see there's still a bit of uncertainty and hesitation in the market. There's still a bit of hesitation in the market, but higher strikes have entered the market. My point is, speculative views with higher strikes have entered the market. Here, look again. Did I turn this on? Yes, okay, here. Let's see again if we have any strategies or not. It seems like we don't have any more strategies. Based on the block count, look at the most recent ones that have entered. January 5th, 200 to 240 Bitcoin long puts at 80,000. See, this also shows a bearish outlook for us here. Before that, we also have 125. Long puts at 60,000. These people are seeing things much lower. But before that, look again at December 18th. For us, it's at 120,000. Of course, this isn't really a strategy either. We're seeing 4 trades here that are actually long calls for 120,000, which again shows a bullish outlook, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's go back to the 25 size volume. Let's actually move on to... We saw September and June. Now let's go to September. Let's see. For September as well, based on the red curve and where we are right now, trades of 25 Bitcoin and above are seeing more chances for an upward move. You can see the peak profit is at 201,000, although based on gamma, we have a strong gamma at 43,000. But if you look at the red curve, its peak profit point is here at 200,000. If we move forward, you'll find a kind of oscillating curve situation, which we're close to right now. Well, let's take a comprehensive and detailed look at this now. Again, do you see signs here that the market is waiting? Yes, here too you can see the curve is taking on a bullish shape. You can clearly spot the significant signs on the prominent red curve. Here once again, we meticulously come in and carefully divide by exactly 50. 50 Bitcoin and above with precisely 33 trades. And just look, can we truly see this particular trade here once again? 3 complete rounds as well. In fact, once again, a bullish outlook, 200 Bitcoin short call, strike price 180,000, strike price 180,000. Look, the higher strike prices for September have increased a lot compared to the June expiration that we reviewed. For the September expiration, this has gone much higher. This itself is an interesting point, 200 Bitcoin. Look again here, strike 180, 180. Let's look at the strikes. We have 175. 100 Bitcoin long call at 175. 95 Bitcoin again, another long call, again at 175. 100 Bitcoin long call and 75, and again at 175. We have a lot of strike prices at 160. The strike prices that entered recently in January have come down a bit, around 95, 75, and so on. These have actually been observed, but the overall curve, the overall trade still are visible. We can see some bullish signs in it. If we look at the strategies, you can see this, well, there's a fluctuation between 40 and 482,000. It's been observed. And here we have this particular situation. This is actually quite the opposite. It's what we call a long strangle. A long strangle that is once again positioned below 43 and above approximately 180,000. And we have this one too. This is also a long strangle. You don't really find any pinpoint strategies here. Look, this is again a long strangle. It gets really narrow, and this long strangle has seen fluctuations from 84,000 to 100,000. And again, we have this one. See, it's the same strategy again. Mostly it's the long strangle strategy. And actually, it's the long and short. Well, anyway. Here, this last one is apparently a SEPI. Yes, this one. For September 25th, this is actually a backspread strategy for September 25th. Right now, it hasn't reached its maximum profit point, which the trader had in mind, actually aiming for a ceiling up to 120 or even 121. Actually, here you can see that after this point, it goes into a loss. Honestly, many of the trades that were entered in January for the September expiration don't really have a bullish outlook. You see, maybe one reason is that the market is currently at a turning point. A lot of people still can't say for sure whether the market will drop from here and come to an end, or if it's going to take off from this point. Opinions are still clashing with each other, so maybe we need to get past January and see more trades enter the market. But what's noteworthy is the trading of strikes like 160,000 and 175,000. Just look at that. There are a lot of long call 175s. We see a lot of them. 200,000, 180,000. These are actually being noticed. If we take a quick look at December 26, 25 Bitcoin. As you can see, that's still very little right now. It's still pretty early. Look, here again we have long calls at 150,000, and again long calls at 230,000. So it seems like a bullish expectation is starting to show itself. Although for the market to enter a decisive phase, we still need more time. We're at a critical point right now, so we need to move forward. The trades should enter January for the end of the year. Actually, for June and September, so we can get a better outlook. And so we can talk about that bullish outlook we've been discussing with more confidence. Thank you for your attention. I hope this analysis has been helpful. And until the next analysis, goodbye.